When my girlfriend Claire first brought up the idea of a mock breakup, I honestly thought she was kidding. We'd been together for almost 3 years. From where I stood, we were solid, comfortable, steady, and deeply connected. But Claire wasn't smiling when she suggested it. Her face was calm, unsettlingly calm as she said, "What if we take a week-long break? Pretend we're not together. Just to see what we'd feel without each other." I let out a nervous laugh, half expecting her to laugh too, to admit it was some quirky joke. But she didn't. Her gaze stayed steady. That's when I asked, my voice tight, "Is something wrong? Are we okay?" She shook her head, her tone gentle but firm. "No, there's nothing wrong," she assured me. "I just think it might be healthy to experience a little distance. To reflect. To appreciate what we have apart." Looking back now, that should have been my first warning sign. But in that moment, I didn't want to seem insecure or controlling. I didn't want to be that boyfriend who couldn't handle a little space. Against my better judgment, I agreed. Claire set very specific rules. No texts, no phone calls, no accidental run-ins, no checking each other's social media, no contact of any kind. For 7 full days, we'd act as if we didn't exist in each other's worlds. She smiled like it was some silly social experiment, a playful challenge. But something inside me tightened. Still, I pushed that feeling aside. The first day was strange. My phone sat quiet, too quiet. I kept glancing at it, half expecting her to break the silence with a teasing message or some playful gotcha. But the screen stayed dark. I tried to fill the void with work, hitting the gym, running errands. But by nightfall, the silence felt heavier than I expected. I sat there, scrolling through photos of us, our last vacation, a dinner date just weeks before, wondering if she missed me even half as much as I missed her. By the 3rd day, my resolve began to crack. I broke the rule. I opened her social media. There it was. A picture of her at a crowded nightclub, surrounded by strangers, some laughing, others dancing. One guy had his arms slung casually, too comfortably, around her shoulders, his face inches from hers. I told myself not to overreact. Could mean nothing. Maybe an old friend. Maybe just a harmless photo. But the knot in my stomach didn't ease. Then, on the 4th day, my phone buzzed. A message from a mutual friend. "Hey, everything okay between you and Claire? Just saw her on a dating app." My heart sank. Whoa, no way. Not Claire. But I had to know. I downloaded the app, hands trembling as I searched. And there she was. New pictures. Fresh bio. Just seeing what's out there hit me like a freight train. The betrayal. The manipulation. I couldn't eat that day. I couldn't sleep. I just laid there, staring at the ceiling, every moment of our relationship playing on repeat in my head. This wasn't a harmless experiment. This was her way out. Her excuse to explore without the guilt of officially cheating. On the 5th day, I got a message from Rachel, an old friend I hadn't spoken to in a while. We had briefly dated years before Claire and I got serious. She texted me out of the blue. "Hey, not sure if you want to know this, but I saw Claire at the diner last night with some guy. They weren't exactly acting friendly." I thanked her, keeping my tone steady, but inside I felt like I was unraveling. By the 6th day, something inside me shifted. I stopped checking her accounts. I stopped wondering what she was doing or who she was with. Instead, I started asking myself why I had let this happen. Why had I agreed to this ridiculous test in the first place? It hit me how lopsided our relationship had been. She dictated the terms. I just followed, hoping to keep the peace. Then came the 7th day. I almost didn't show up for the scheduled meetup. I wanted to vanish, to leave her wondering for once. But I needed closure. I needed to face her and say the things I'd been rehearsing in my head. She arrived at the coffee shop, looking radiant. Too radiant. As if the week had been a refreshing vacation instead of a storm that had torn me apart. She sat down, smiling sweetly, and asked, "So, how was it for you?" I stared at her, searching for even the slightest trace of regret. "It felt like you used this week to prepare your exit plan," I said, my voice calm but steady. Her smile slipped. Her eyes darted away for a moment before she muttered something vague about clarity and space. Her words were empty, mechanical. She didn't deny anything. Not the dating app. Not the diner sighting. Nothing. She acted as if it was no big deal. As if everything she'd done was perfectly reasonable. That was it for me. I looked her in the eyes and said, "I'm done." She blinked, stunned. "Wait, what? Are you serious?" Her voice cracked with disbelief. I nodded, stood up, and walked away without another word. If she wanted to know what it felt like to lose me, I was ready to let her feel it, for real this time. Months passed. The first few weeks were brutal. I felt hollow, furious, betrayed. But slowly I started putting myself back together. I rediscovered what it felt like to enjoy my own company again. I reconnected with friends I'd lost touch with. Eventually I met someone new. Someone who didn't play games. Someone honest, warm, and real. Not long ago, Claire sent me a text. "I miss you." I didn't reply. Here's what I've learned. If someone has to stage a breakup to realize your worth, they never valued you to begin with.